You're still watching TVC Breakfast. Now, the Niger Flavor Initiative is the Nigerian Tourism Development Authority's flagship cultural tourism program, strategically designed to reposition Nigeria as a premier tourism hub. Niger Flavor is a vibrant celebration of Nigeria's rich heritage and limitless tourism potential, capturing the truth of spirit of the nation through its people, traditions, music, fashion, food, and festivals. Now, beyond the celebration, Niger Flavor aims to rebrand Nigeria's tourism narrative through positive storytelling, strategic promotion, and collaboration across the creative and tourism sectors. Joining us to discuss this very important conversation is Director General, Nigerian Tourism Development, Ola-Awakan. Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Morning.
You're a friend to the house, so let me give you a good handshake. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, we're talking about this very important topic. Over a period of time, we've seen how tourism is now booming in Nigeria, and of course, we love it. But we're talking about this initiative that you're coming up with. This is the flagship. You know, what are some of the things that we should expect? I was watching the video. I saw our vibrant food, our vibrant culture, and it's beautiful now that we get to tell our own stories for ourselves, because nobody can tell our stories the way we can tell it.
Yeah. Okay, so let me start by saying that any platform that I find myself, I always say that to develop Nigerian tourism sector, one of the areas we need to look at is storytelling, because Nigeria is a macrocosm of stories. If we are to pick on all the unique cultural stories of this country and to tell them 365 days of the year, we will not repeat a story. And a typical instance is Ile-Ife in Osun State.
That's right.
If you look at Osun State, they have festivals that they celebrate every day of the year, excluding just one day in 365 days. Yeah. Now, pick those stories and turn them around. That's what you will use to invite international tourists to the country. And that is what my administration is going to focus on, telling stories, turning around tourist destinations, putting them into stories, and using them to invite international tourists into the country, and also to encourage local domestic tourism. What we're doing with Niger Flavor is just a flagship, because I'm just like 2 months old in office, but I said I have to make a statement with the Dirty December season that we have. So Niger Flavor has come to stay, and what we're doing is we're celebrating our culture through storytelling. So we're going to be having our own Niger Flavor, not in food alone, but we're going to be having food. We're going to be having theater, and the theater is Echoes of the Drums, which celebrates our culture and our, our rich drum culture in Nigeria. That's my play. I wrote it. We're going to be having music, our own music. We're going to be having fashion, our own fashion. We're going to be having a display of over 50 SMEs, that have produced our own indigenous, could be, produced from our attires, produced from. So all this we have put together to give Nigerians that feel of the Niger vibe, and to also tell those in diaspora that are coming into the country that, look, this is the best place to be. I know there are several programs happening across the country, but come to Abuja, December 13th, and have a feel of Niger Flavor.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
I think it's quite very interesting, given your intention to focus on Nigeria itself, the culture, the people, the ways of life, rather than just promoting tourists to move into the country, but to actually come in and get something called the Niger's flavor from Nigeria. I can see that it will also provide opportunity for content creators, particularly on the Niger's flavor thing that is focusing on either you cited the issue of Ife, where there's a festival going on every day of the year, apart from one day in the whole year. And how, I'm sure you'll be thinking about how to turn this, encourage, Nigerians, particularly the youths, to latch in on this and create content through it in a way that it could also develop that sector while at the same time achieving your goal. I'm sure you must be thinking about that.
Yes, a part of the initiative that I have that I want to kickstart next year is to also, because I know there are content creators, in staccato across the country that are, that have been doing things to encourage, from their own personal perspective, to push out our, our rich cultural heritage to the world. What we want to do at NTDA is to bring them together, because they've been working in silo. Now we want to bring them together and see how we can encourage them, give them that government backing, so as to know that, look, the government recognizes your individual effort, your private effort into promoting our cultural, heritage. Because we need to change the narrative. The narrative that is being pushed out there about Nigeria is Nigeria is not a country of insecurity. No, Nigeria is not a country of negativity. Nigeria is a country of positivity, and that positivity we should leverage. I was in Riyadh. I was in Ghana during the Creatives Connect Africa. And I know how much of these countries, how much they cherish Nigeria. We have this story. We are sitting on gold in Nigeria. Saudi Arabia, what do they have? But they have turned their desert around into something. What does Dubai, what do they have? What do we have in Nigeria? I just cited instance of our rich cultural assets. Look at what we are sitting on. All we need to do is just to harness our potential. And what we're doing again is collaborating with the private sector, because tourism is private sector driven. So what we need to do is whatever we're creating, we should give the private sector, a good hand, give them a good chunk of developing these tourist destinations. And when we do that, because government, we come, we go. But when you go, the private sector that are, operating in the tourism sector, they are there. They will be there, and it becomes, a continuum, and they'll continue to push. Even when your face is no longer there, I'm not going to stay here forever. When I leave, those that are practicing, they will continue to be there. So, but when you give them the opportunity to be part of you, all you need to do as government is to give them an enabling environment, is to support them and drive whatever initiative you have through the private sector. If you do that, when you leave, they are fully in charge of it, and they continue it. But when you leave, when you are taking it 100% or 90%, when you leave, the next person that comes, if they don't like your face, that initiative goes with you. So that is what we're doing. We're doing a lot of partnership. So what we're saying is this flagship program, just to test the waters. By next year, we're going to take it across all the 6 geopolitical zones, Niger flavor in Southwest, Niger flavor in South-South, Niger flavor. And after that, maybe the following years, we're going to have it across all the 36 states and the FCT. Absolutely. So that is the idea. That's just one out of the many initiatives I want to bring up.
And there will be continuity.
Definitely there will be continuity.
It is beautiful to know that Niger flavor is not about food alone.
No.
It's about so many things.
There's a challenge that is going on now. What is your Niger flavor? So just 60 seconds video, you send it to tag us. And,
but for you, what is your Niger flavor actually?
My Niger flavor is the originality of Nigeria. From every perspective,
like that.
In your food, in your dress sense, in your attire, in your local dialect, everything that carries. Look at our music to the world. Look at when I was in Saudi Arabia, there are many people. When I was in Ghana, for instance, there are many people from other countries that, in fact, they wanted to go with this just because of the Niger flavor thing that they have. I have a friend from Trinidad and Tobago will say, I want to come to Nigeria. From Zimbabwe, I want to come to Nigeria. Absolutely. From Kenya, I want to come to Nigeria. So they love us. And next year, by the grace of God, Nigeria will be, hosting a tourism program across African countries, and we're bringing them to Nigeria. Amazing. Let them have a feel of what we've got in Nigeria.
Yeah. So the question I was going to ask, because I'm not in doubt, that you will deliver on this mandate, because right before time, you've always spotted talents, you've always brought out younger ones, to the extent that we have the youngest chief. And I know he's so happy that
yes, he's also featuring.
Of course. You're more like his dad, and so many other talents which you've actually brought to the limelight. So the ingredients are already on the ground. It's just for you to put it up. But no matter how we develop our country, no matter how we develop these tourist sites, attractions, and all of that, bringing investors, there is no way people will not be concerned about insecurity. So if places where we say Ikogosi, Erin-Jesha, even places in the hinterland, in the north and all of that, tourists may not want to come. So how are you collaborating with the security agencies to ensure that, yes, we are developing our tourist sites, we are bringing in investors, we are ensuring that Nigeria is showed to the entire world that, yes, we are a positive nation, we are a lively nation. How are you related with the much more on interagency collaboration to develop your own sector?
Okay, so the development of the tourism sector is hinged on collaboration. And if you talk about insecurity, insecurity is not peculiar to Nigeria alone. Right. We have it across the world. But the thing is, the narrative that you push, the agenda setting, theory that we use here is, let us sell the positive beyond the negative. There's insecurity everywhere. Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, is passionate, about, to stem the tide of insecurity in the country. Look at what has happened, a few weeks back. So we are attending to that issue. Notwithstanding, let us use tourism and the promotion of our, rich cultural assets to override the discourse on insecurity. If you go to other parts of the world, yes, they have their own chunk of this issue that they are dealing with, but they are not putting that on the faces of everybody. They are not putting that in the public face.
At the end of the day, they're talking more positive things about their country.
If you go to Rwanda, everything you hear about Rwanda is the positive side of Rwanda. Rwanda is this, it's beautiful, is that. If you go into Rwanda yourself, you know that they also have their peculiar issues. The same thing with Nigeria. So let us talk more on this. Why the government is addressing this, let us talk more on the positive sides of.
So I think it's on every Nigerian to speak well about Nigeria, because the more you speak good about Nigeria, the more we see good happening in the country. And we're coming together.
So there is a collaboration that is happening now. The federal government has inaugurated, a committee that will look into how we can harness, this season for the betterment of this country and for the global society to understand what we have as a country. So all the security apparatus, we are coming together to ensure that any tourists that come into this country, you are secured, and there's no issue about that. So all the security agencies, we are together, all the value chain, connected to tourism, because this is our season. Everybody coming to the country should be given that pride of place to say, look, when you come into the country, you are safe and everything you go to. So we're going to roll out the list of activities that we have from the ministry. My honorable minister, Barrister Anatu Musa Musawa, is doing our best, within the little resources that is available at the time frame, and working with other relevant agencies like those in the aviation sector, talk about the police, talk about the immigration, because these are value chains connected to people when they come into the country. So we are doing a lot to promote tourism.
Our time is short. I wish we could continue the conversation. We can
13th of December, Nigeria
I was just going to go to that.
Continue.
Is it for everybody? Can everybody come?
Everybody can come.
Okay.
It's a family outing.
Okay.
It's a family outing. They can come. There's theater to watch. There's food to eat.
Location?
There's music. It's at Mona Lisa in Abuja.
Okay.
That's in Abuja, Garki. That's where it's happening, and we're collaborating.
Do you register to come?
Yes, you can get a ticket. It's just for them to have a feel of this, what you pay for, your value. So for those who want to early risers, you can pay. It's just 3,000 naira. But when you get to the field, it's just 5,000 naira.
That's actually
and you have, these things to enjoy. The vibes are fully, packaged for you.
Well done. I'll say well done. I'll just put my hands together for you. It's a fantastic initiative.
And it's collaboration. We're collaborating with National Troop. We're collaborating with Brokers.
I wish you all the best for it. And it just shows that, it's not only Lagos that we see that in December. Abuja is also doing something. So if you're in Abuja, you know where to be on the 13th. Once again, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me.
We're all hoping you unleash the creative talents, of Nigerians, and let's change the narrative for the country.
It's a collaboration with you.
Of
we'll
course.
do it together.
And we'll keep talking about it before the 13th. But yes, in our next discussion, we will delve into a silent but powerful disruptor of progress, conflicting judicial rulings. Join us after the break for these very important conversations. We'll be right back.